views on this
Savio, first
topic?
up, thanks so much for inviting me for this wonderful show. I think this is a topic which not just India but the whole world should see and talk about. I also believe I've been listening to all your versatile panelists. Um, I believe we are living in a very hypocritical world. We are living in India where we talk about child marriage, but families don't talk about this. Uh, I do a lot of mentoring for small children, for adults, and I see that conversations don't happen openly. Everybody is on the mobile phones, everybody is on the computers, be it adults, be it children. Those conversations don't happen. Children are at an age where they're very sensitive and very vulnerable. And don't get me wrong here, but there's a lot of information out there for everybody. And that's where it's very important that how do we get that information out to them? How do communities work in making sure they understand what is good touch, bad touch? Schools and colleges play a very, very important role. We have movies which are being made, but somewhere that information is not being percolated down. We don't have conversations around this. I also believe that there's a larger issue here. Somebody who's been sexually abused, be it a male or a female or a boy or a girl, there's a larger issue of violence stemming from that. We have seen that happening around us. And because of the pandemic, we've also seen because of the pandemic, people are living in closed rooms. A lot of things happen around it. So I think somewhere the government has to play an important role. We're talking about the POSCO Act, but how many outside this, the larger audience know about it? I think somewhere the schools, colleges need to play an important role. Families need to play an important role. We have a lot of young parents who has young kids, and they need to know how to deal with the situation. This is a very, very, I won't say a very tricky situation. It's the most important situation in a parent's life about how do you handle somebody who's a sexual abuser. It could be within the family, it could be outside, it all boils down to whether you have a good mentor, whether you have somebody who mentors you, somebody who respects you without even judging you. But we are living in a judgmental society, in India especially, where we talk about child marriage, which is bad, but then we don't talk about things like this, which are really important. Because this is the truth about India, and not just India. It's about the entire world. But I think kudos to you for taking up this topic, because this topic does not just need dialogues, debates, and discussions. There needs to be constructive action around it.
Sure.
The government needs to do something about it. The schools and colleges need to do something about it. The families need to do something about it. And somewhere we all have to get into this and solve this issue out, because this is a big, big problem, which is just going to percolate into something really, really, who knows, somebody who's been abused sexually can turn out to be a terrorist. It is possible.
True.
Because there's so much of negativity in there. There's so much of toxic behavior. And you can't blame them for it. You just cannot blame them for it. What do you do about it? So I think somewhere it's very important that this thing about good touch, bad touch is not just taught in schools. We were taught about that in schools, but we got all our information through social media. And now on social media, there is so much of information. I feel because of so much information, they don't know what to do with it.
True.
And it's also I think somewhere it also boils down to peer pressure. It boils down to peer pressure, boils down to too much information, boils down to parents not spending time with their children. Parents don't spend time with their children. Everybody's in their own rooms, watching their own web series, watching their own shows, watching their own movies, because these phones have become like a tool of power for them. So somewhere that has to be stopped. Conversations need to happen. Like this conversation we are having right now,
Sure.
Which is very good. I think we need to have that conversation out there. Communities need to have that conversation, not just conversations around festivals and Diwali greetings and Merry Christmas and everything is going fine. It is not going fine. So I think that conversation has to come out there. And kudos to you for taking this up.
Thank you.